Hey everyone, you're listening to Nerd Boys Comic Book Blog. I'm Marco.
I'm Charles.
And today we're talking about War for the Planet of the Apes.
War. It's good for absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Wow!
Yes, but we just got back from watching War of the Planet of the Apes. Well, not really. We saw it last night.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, what have I been doing for the last 12 hours?
Yeah, well, 24, basically.
Oh, damn, it is 20. It has been 24 hours.
Yeah. So this is like the opening weekend.
Yeah, it's opening weekend. I mean, we gave people enough time to actually, watch this video. Watch the movie, then watch this video.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, I say, please pause the video, go watch the movie, then come right back. Because, you're going to want to watch the movie. It's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, if you like the last one, you'll love this one.
Honestly, if you like the first one and you haven't seen the second one, go see the second one, then go see the third one.
Yeah, and also forget the marketing for the movie. It's not really much of a war movie. It's like a prisoner of war movie. Really.
If you really want to call it that.
Yeah. It's a really sad, depressing look at the horrors of mankind.
Felt like something that took place almost maybe 150, 200 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it was pretty tough. Only thing that they didn't do was, can I say it?
Yeah.
There was no lynching. It was close enough, though.
Yeah, there's plenty of other parallels, but yeah.
Yeah, that was, I won't lie, that was a tough movie for me.
Yeah.
So, spoilers or just we gonna do pre-spoilers?
Do I just give you a review and then go into spoilers?
Okay, well, for this being the third and final movie, and I guess it breaks the trilogy myth where the third movie's always the bad one. I would probably say this is the best one from out of the trilogy, unless they're doing two more. Then yeah, I could see why maybe the next two might be bad.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but overall, this movie, it hits you in every anything that you're looking for in the movie. It had comedy, it had sadness. It was a roller coaster of emotions going on in this movie. Even at the worst times, there was still something, and you still had that hope that you can hold on to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as a Planet of the Apes movie, because I didn't watch the originals, as from what you told me, there's a lot of Easter eggs and nuggets in there, which, for any fan of Planet of the Apes, you're going to enjoy it. So I can give you 2 thumbs up. They put their foot in it. I don't want to say any more because everything else I want to say is just spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
So, what did you think about it, Marco?
So me, I really enjoyed it as a fan of both the originals and the new series. But not so much Mark Wahlberg's movie.
Sadly, that was my first one.
Yeah. I think there's only 2 really bad ones.
Okay.
That's the 5th one for the originals, which is Battle for the Planet of the Apes. And then the remake with Mark Wahlberg.
How many before this trilogy, before the Mark Wahlberg, there was 5 other ones?
There were 5 originals.
Wow.
And then there was an animated show called Return to the Planet of the Apes. And then there was the Mark Wahlberg Tim Burton movie, and then this series.
Yeah, and that one was 2000?
2001.
Okay, so yeah, I was pretty much on hold for good 10 years, 11?
It's hard to say. I think the 5th one was during the 80s, I think.
Okay. And then the one with James Franco was
2011?
Okay.
Something like that.
So almost a good 10 years. They was we need to not touch this franchise for a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Tim Burton, you do have... You're pretty good at, being creative, but that was not your forte.
Is just putting a guy in black who looks like you creative?
Yeah. Stick to Batman. At least those turned out well.
It's a good interpretation of Batman, but not the best.
For that time, it was good.
Yeah. It saved Batman from kind of obscurity.
Yeah. Brought him back into the limelight, or... The Dark Knight.
I'd say The Dark Knight. That looks better. And it brought good old Michael Keaton into our lives.
Oh, man. If you want to hear more about Michael Keaton, please watch the Spider-Man Homecoming video.
Oh, yeah. We'll actually have 2 by the time this comes out, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Dave and I talked about Spider-Man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. 2 Spider-Man nerds talking about Spider-Man. But anyway, back to Planet of the Apes. I think... we can just go to spoilers right now.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
God damn it, Caesar.
Oh.
Oh my, like, seeing him progress throughout these 3 movies, and like even in the second one, I mean, like that one took place what, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, it came out 3 years ago.
Yeah. So watching this, which it took place 2 years after after the second movie, like it's like, okay, you could see like Caesar, she's getting a little old. You can see the gray beard coming in. I mean, he's an ape, but like you can see the gray beard. He have a second son now. You know, like the beginning, it's just, I mean, we got there late because of, you know, concessions. Like, oh god, just try to get to the movie theaters. Like, I can say 45 minutes before the movie start, because we missed like trailers and the first part, like 10 minutes of the movie.
Well, I'd say maybe like two minutes probably.
No, it was 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes.
Are you sure?
I'm just counting it as 10 minutes.
All right, 10 minutes. We missed 10 minutes of the movie, even though,
Yeah. So it's coming there. You see Caesar. They just fought off some soldiers. Yeah, a few died, but it was like, you know, it turned out like, you know, I hate to say it turned out well, but it's like, okay, the apes can, I guess, once again, live with peace. Then you see his son who returned from finding new land, which you find out later on, which I guess is another Easter egg towards like, you know, the original. But like, it was just like, oh my god, I haven't seen him. It's like when you a fan of the series somewhat, and then you see like old characters, you're like, oh my god, like it's like looking at your own, like your little cousins, like, oh my god, I remember when you were this small.
Yeah, it's funny how you can feel so many emotions for a CGI ape that doesn't exist.
Yes, and CGI apes and orangutan.
Yeah,
and
well, they're all apes.
Yeah, but like it was, I mean, coming in, it was so emotional, like you seeing these characters again. And then there was the situation with, I guess his name is Winter, the white ape.
Yeah, a white ape that you've never seen before in a Planet of the Apes movie.
And I mean, out of all the apes who had black fur, this is the only one with like white fur. I found him suspicious right from the get-go. And they had like one of the apes that they had kept and released the 4 humans.
Yes,
and this one white ape betrayed them.
Spoilers. Well, we're in spoilers anyway.
Yeah, he freaking betrayed them. And I knew from the get-go when he was like, oh, this ape attacked me and escaped. I'm like, no. You did that on purpose.
This is a ploy. And he was actually pushing for them to leave that night. Like, oh, we got to get out of here. We should leave and go to this new land that... I forgot what the oldest son's name was.
Oh my god, I forgot his name also.
Oh, we cared so much about him, but we don't even know his name.
I know, but I mean, it's okay, because he didn't make it after like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of emphasis on him. He was like the hero returning home. And
oh my god. And it's so bad, like, because I was looking forward to, you know, I was hoping his story would continue on, but I guess, you know, that was the end for him. Yeah.
We still have Cornelius.
Yeah. I guess.
Ooh.
Is that a nod back to the originals?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Okay.
So Cornelius is like one of the original apes from the series.
Okay.
And due to time travel, he's actually Caesar's father? Yeah, the originals get crazy.
Wow. Okay, this is...
Yeah. No, but in the originals, it's like thousands of years have passed, not just...
Wait, time out. He's his son, but then he's technically his father.
No. You gotta think about time travel, and it's thousands of years.
Okay.
That's the time skip between movies.
Terminator.
Yeah, basically.
This is some of that.
Yeah, it's like Terminator. It's funny because it happened like a decade before Terminator 2.
Oh, wow.
Or decade before Terminator 1. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just, get into it. Caesar, like, first son and his wife get murdered by the colonel, and Caesar instantly seeks revenge.
But just automatically, he's like, fuck peace.
Yeah. And he takes Maurice with him, another ape and a gorilla.
Well, no, he wants to go alone originally.
Yeah, he did want to go alone. But he say, you know what, you guys come with me, whatever. And they go. And sadly, like, they come across, like, this man who I guess couldn't... Well, we don't know at the time, but I guess he was one of the humans who couldn't talk. Because they discovered a little girl who couldn't talk.
No, he was the father of a girl who couldn't talk.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't talk also.
No, he was saying something to them. He's like, I'm going to put down my gun.
Oh, that's right.
And then Caesar straight up blasts him.
Well, no, because he was going to go for his gun.
Yeah.
No, he didn't say I'm put down my gun. He's like, I'm put down the wood slowly. And then the moment he's gonna reach for the gun, Caesar's like, I'm sorry. I was raised around too many humans. I know how you guys work.
Oh yeah.
Then they found a girl who couldn't talk, and I guess like that was another nod to the originals, which
Yes.
I didn't know. I was just like, oh, it's a mute girl. I mean, being a young child dealing with like now like genetically enhanced apes like that can kind of screw you up a little bit.
Yeah, but it turns out it's actually part of the virus that wiped out the human race.
Yeah, so some humans were still infected with the virus, where it's slowly like
Kind of devolving, but she seems to be fine. She's like still smart, but she just can't speak.
And I mean, I guess it's like that's just the first stage of it, and probably they didn't allow. Well, you'll find out later on once we get to that point. But they took her with them, and they run into Bad Ape, right?
Bad Ape, yeah. He's another intelligent ape that's not part of Caesar's original crew.
Yeah, but he's been like, I guess, abandoning like this, tear down city. And he was actually originally in the zoo.
Yeah, he was in the Sierra Zoo, which I meant to look up where that is, but I never did.
Yeah, and it's kind of sucks. But that's what we have technology for. And I am going to look now. So
while you're doing that, I'll basically talk about some of the Easter eggs that came up. So the little girl in the movie is actually Nova. And in the original series, Nova's the girl that Charlton Heston's character meets. She's like a mute, and everyone like had a huge crush on her back in like the 60s. And now they've kind of taken that name, given it to this little girl, and she has kind of a similar role.
Washoe County, Nevada.
Sierra Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not really Sierra Nevada.
Nah, that's close enough.
Nah, that's close enough.
But yeah. I guess that's where Bad Ape was originally from. And I mean, sadly, he was a ape that they experimented on.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, and it sucked because, like, they fucking shaved him, for God's sakes. Excuse my language, please censor that out. But, like, I believe PETA, like, are sometimes over ridiculous with some of the things that they demand. But, like, there's no reason why you should shave any animal if it's not benefiting them in any kind of way.
Yeah.
Sheep's is kind of one thing, but even then, it's some of them, like, I feel like it's animal cruelty even with that. But, like, ape, like, how evil do you have to be? But it worked along for the rest of the movie because you see him with, like, jackets and a little vest.
He's really cute, and he's, like, the comic relief.
Yeah. You need, and I'm glad that they threw him. Like, I hate to say like they threw him in, but like you needed him with like in that time of struggle that they were going through.
Oh yeah, like just looking at him, he's an ugly looking ape, but he's also funny.
Yes, and very naive.
Yes, also very kind of like he's smart, but he's not really as well. It might also be his PTSD.
Yeah,
like he's got serious scars.
Yeah,
going on
physically and emotionally and mentally.
Yes. But he basically helps Caesar and his gang go to the new, I guess, base?
Yeah, where, I guess in part 2, where they said that, the army was going to come, they came.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that army was nothing to play around with. So, the gorilla that was with them, shot and killed.
No, he was stabbed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was stabbed with a rifle. Well,
bayonet.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know the name of the weapon. But for that short time that I've known that gorilla, I was emotionally, like, hurt by that. I'm like, why? Like, out of all... Like, why?
Yeah. Every time someone dies in this movie, whether it's Caesar's family or the gorilla, I forgot his name, it's just like, you don't even know these characters' names, but for some reason, because they're animals, and they also have, like, human enough characteristics, you feel for them when they die. Because it's sad to see, like, a dog die in a movie, but it's, like, sadder when, like, that dog is more sentient.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we are so emotionally attached to like, the apes, they're not looking for war.
Yeah, they're really looking. The only person looking for revenge is Caesar.
Yeah, and it's because like they came in and killed this family like as a sign of like gratitude and like peace. He released the 4 humans, and like what act do you bring upon him by killing his family? And then the colonel, who you finally meet later on, who's like, the biggest like jerk in the movie. Oh, I did that because of, this virus that killed my son. Like, dude, Whoa.
Technically, he killed his son.
You killed your son. Like, yeah, he started to devolve, but did you sit around long enough to see, like, what can come from this? No, you're like, oh, my son is, not the same kid that I used to know. Bam, gotta take you out. And honestly, like, Woody Harrelson, I love him as a character, but he played his role well enough where I grew to hate him.
Yes.
Like, it's, like, it'd be different if, like I said, these apes were out there looking for war, looking for a battle. They wanted peace. They wanted, like, paradise. They wanted Nirvana.
No, yeah.
Nirvana.
It's like Nirvana.
Yeah.
It's like Woody Harrelson, his character really was like this religious fanatic at some points because he's got crosses, he's got Bibles everywhere.
And, like, what was
he's
this,
talking
like,
about the Holy Land.
Yeah, and, like, did you see, like, that, like, that symbol that was drawn around everywhere?
It was the Alpha and Omega.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what in the world? Like, what is wrong with this? And then these people are blindly following him. Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh, man. Like, there's a reviewer called Movie Bob, and he kind of paralleled them more to, like, nationalist neo-Nazis. I'm like,
Makes sense.
I can see that, but there's a stronger parallel to more, like, religious fanatics and, like, just zealots and, like, militarized religion, which is, like, something back in, like, during the Crusades and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's closer to that, but I can see both parallels.
Well, can I get a little vulgar on here?
Sure.
Okay. Woody Harrelson character, the Colonel, he was goddamn Hitler. I'm finna just come out and say it. Like, so the group, so very early in the movie when Caesar decided to seek revenge, he decided to send the rest of the apes to paradise. There was like a land that was in the desert where they can actually sustain life out there. Come to find out, they actually got ambushed by the Colonel's army. And when Caesar actually gets to the base, that's when he discovers it. I mean, they pretty much had apes on crosses practically. Like,
well, it's an allusion to the movie, but the X's that they have crossed up to.
Which I guess is another nod to like the originals of how, like, I guess they tied up the humans, as you was telling me.
Yes.
But, like, seriously, like, who in the hell does that? And, like, it'll be different if you, like, he don't even really have a personal vendetta against the apes. It's because of the virus that made the apes more intelligent. And his whole thing is, oh no, well, us as humans, we have to prove that, we're still, the dominant race. Like, let them live on their own. Like, honestly, I'll put it like this. Humans, we're going to go to one country. Apes stick to another country. We just going to let you guys do what you do. Yeah, we kind of screwed up. We experiment on some of you guys and we realize, hey, that's wrong. We apologize. Let's try to keep this as peaceful as possible. But there's some people, like Samuel Jackson and Kong Skull Island, that can't live without war.
Yeah, basically. And, yeah, I hate to say this, but they were really just... There are so many times that either side... Well, not either side. There are so many times when the humans could have just stopped.
Like, there was no reason.
Let bygones be bygones.
Yes.
They didn't have to imprison all the apes and, like, have a POW camp full of ape children and women.
Oh, dude, like... And that was, like... And it was at that point where I was just like, you know what? I honestly, if it took any movie, and sadly, it's a movie that's like, fiction, for me to give up on humanity, it was Planet of the Apes. To see how they just had, it was literally like concentration camps. Like, I couldn't believe, like, I'm sitting here like, are you serious? And then they freaking whipped Caesar like he was Jesus.
Yeah, well, he is Monkey Jesus.
Yes, he is equivalent to Monkey Jesus. But, like, the way that they just whipped him, I'm like, are you serious? And even when, like, they wanted to give up on him, like, no, Caesar, he always came around, showed them that he loved his apes no matter what.
Yep, those are his people. That's his group.
But I couldn't, honestly, like, it was brutal watching this movie. At first, it was like, hey, but I guess that's what made it so great, to show you, honestly, how humanity is when in the time of crisis. They don't know how to react. The first thing they do is resort to violence.
Yeah, it reminds me of The Mist, which...
Yeah.
I bring this up a lot in, like, real life, but on the podcast, I don't think I've brought it up. I love The Mist just because of the horror element, and the scarier monsters are the ones inside the grocery store.
Yes. No, that's my first time hearing you mention that you love The Mist.
Oh, I mention like every week to Andrea. Like, can we stop talking about The Mist, please?
Like, you never know what could happen. I work in a grocery store, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and then, geez. So there's also a bunch of times in the movie where you kind of you don't question it. Caesar questions whether or not he's as good as everyone thinks he is.
Oh, yes.
And there's plenty of times where he sees visions of Koba.
Oh, yeah. Just in case you don't know who Koba is, please watch the second movie. But it was an ape who just couldn't let go of the anger of being tested and experimented on by humans.
Yeah. If Caesar is ape Jesus, Koba's ape Judas, basically.
Cain and Abel.
Yeah, Cain and Abel.
Yeah. And sadly, like, Caesar had to, I mean, spoiler alert, Caesar killed them. But, like, what made Caesar really, like, I mean, it wasn't even the fact that he was questioning was he as bad as him, but what got to the point was when he killed Winter by accident.
I don't think it was by accident. I think it was like...
No, they were trying to hold him down to keep him quiet.
Yeah, when you choke someone like that...
I don't want to... Do you... God, that... kind of like seem like it's relatable to something else, but we're not into politics on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, when Caesar was like choking him out, I was like, shh, just
he had him in a chokehold.
Just let it happen.
And he was trying to like restrain him, but you know, you could almost.
But Witcher was responsible for his family's death.
Yeah, but like it was almost on parallel with something else that happened in the real world. But we're not going to go to that.
Oh, we're talking about Drake Bell.
Yeah.
The wedding.
Yeah.
No.
But no, but like yeah, it was. You can see throughout the movie Caesar's struggle. I mean, I've never seen him that angry. Like, he was always upset or he was, like, disliked. But, like, this was true anger. Like, this was from, like, the depths of his soul. That he was a man, he was a dead man walking. He already knew. He just wanted to get to the colonel, kill him, and he didn't care what happened to him.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't even focused on, like, his youngest child. He was like, no.
Oh, no. Dude, like, that youngest child, he honestly treated that child like he had her with, like, a side ape. It was like, that's not my kid. Father! That's not my kid. I don't know who that ape is.
Yeah. Well, in the scenes with the concentration camp or the POW camp, I think it was just like, if I acknowledge that that's my kid,
yeah,
they might screw with him.
And like the way the colonel was looking at him, I'm like, please. And I felt like the one gorilla donkey, as I'm going to refer to him.
Yeah.
Because as you find out, there are actually some apes in this movie, some gorillas also, that worked along with the humans. And that's because they worked along with Kobo. Is his name Kobo? Koba. They worked along with him, and it was like, after that falling out, they just still hated Caesar. They wanted him gone.
Yeah, they'd rather be with humans than to side with their own ape.
Yeah, but he had a redemption arc, so that's what turned out good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess he didn't figure out sign language.
No,
because I mean, you would think because like all the apes are signing to each other, he would have caught on to that and was like, "Hey, this is what's going on," but never happened.
Nah, maybe he just wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how they communicated. Like, out of all of them, Bad Ape, Caesar, and then towards the end, Maurice were the only apes that really talked. Besides, no, not even Winter talked.
No, I don't think so.
No. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. But did you like the Donkey Kong thing going on?
Oh, man. It was like, yeah, but like, like, it was like, donkey. And like, for those apes to be like, get painted on their back and being called donkey by humans, I'm like, you're strong. You can literally knock a head off a human. What is wrong with you taking this? But I guess when you sell your soul, you do what you have to.
Yeah. Wow.
Dude, it was sad.
Do you want to talk about the climax?
Oh, the climax?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so are we where do you want to start?
Well, do you want to set the stage for why this final confrontation is happening?
Okay, well, we're going to start with the little girl visiting Caesar?
No, I think we should start with the whole reason why the two armies are fighting.
Okay, so the two armies are fighting because it's humans against apes. I'm just joking.
There's orcs also, and
yes.
also I think there's an army of elves, there's an army of dwarves. Wait, no, this is actually Lord of the Rings.
Oh, so we're talking about the virus?
Yes, we're talking about the virus.
Okay.
The two conflicting ideologies.
Okay, so as you come to find out, like, this virus, like, what... de-evolve humans, and you find it like you don't find out until the Colonel started talking about it, and that's when you just like you kind of click two and two together, where he comes and talks about how like this virus that actually evolves, where like de-evolve humans to the point where they no longer have speech, but that's all he stopped at. He didn't really say like they were like dumb act or anything, because like the little girl that they picked up, I mean, she still acts like a child. Yeah. She just can't communicate. And I mean, for a silent child who's supposed to be like quote unquote like de-evolved, she picked up sign language very quick. Yes. Like, I'm sorry, but I hate to say, if she's supposed to be a dumb child, that's a very intelligent child. To me, I'll take that dumb child anytime. But like, yeah. And he just explains, oh yeah, this virus is bad, de-evolve humans. The first one, people were getting infected, then my son got infected. And I was so upset, and I killed them. I'm like, whoa, how can you just shoot your own son? He was like, oh, I was sitting there waiting. I'm like, no. And then that's when, like, as you said, he didn't look at it as like a problem of science. He looked at it as like a problem of religion. Yeah. Like, oh, there's no cure for this. Pretty much my son is the devil now. Have to take him out. Like, are you... What? I mean,
and it's funny how
close enough.
He didn't even try to understand, because Nova, you can see that she's smart and she's still intelligent. Yeah, she just can't speak anymore. And it like he was looking at his son as like, oh, he was so primitive, and like you could even see in his eyes, his primitive eyes.
I'm like
he felt
maybe
bad.
He was hurt and was like, Dad, I don't know what's going on. I wish I could communicate with you. And he's just like, well, my he's no longer good to me.
Just shoot him between the eyes.
Oh, and like Caesar hearing that, I think he was more hurt by like, okay, this is bad. Yeah. Like this is not like, I mean, because Caesar was there from the start with the virus. I mean, he was pretty much patient zero.
He was patient zero. Well, yeah. The child of patient zero. Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't like, let's work together. But then when, Colonel was like, oh yeah, I don't feel bad because, I killed your son and your wife. I'm like, Colonel, what the hell? Like, what is, like, every time he opened his mouth, it's just like, I hate you.
It's such like, he's just inhuman. And the way Caesar reacts, like, because the Colonel killed his own son. Yeah. Caesar would never have done that. Oh, no. Caesar is more humane than the humans.
Yes. And Colonel knows that. Yeah. And he even said, when Caesar got angry and tried to choke the life out of him, he's like, oh, look at you. So emotional. I'm like,
oh, jeez.
You couldn't find it more relatable than any, like, I believe if, like, the apes wasn't conscious and you actually killed their children, when they became conscious, they would have, been able to express it. But even now, like, as animals, they probably went like, oh, my child died, I feel sadness, but someone continue on. But apes are, like, very intelligent creatures. But, yeah, I hate the Colonel.
Oh, yeah. Woody Harrelson is a guy that you really want to hate.
He plays a guy that you love to hate. Like, he plays it so well. And I would have to say, this is probably one of the best roles I've seen him in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to be in next year's Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm sure.
Beckett. Han Solo's, like, your mentor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the little girl, Nova, she actually visits Caesar after they pretty much left him out there to die on the cross. And then they was like, well, if he survived in the morning, after a night or two?
Yeah, they splashed cold water on his face in the middle of winter.
Yeah, so they was like, oh, if he survives in the morning after tying him down, yeah, we'll put him back to work. So Nova pretty much snuck in, gave him food, gave him water, and left her doll, which plays a very important part towards the end of the movie.
Oh, yes. But then you have Bad Ape and Maurice and Rocket finding secret tunnels underneath the camp.
Which actually one leads right under the camp. Yeah, the part of the camp where all the apes are pretty much contained at.
Yeah, so it's a plot convenience. Yeah. But it's fun because now they get to burrow their way out and make their escape. Or ape escape, if you will, on the PS1.
So after that, pretty much, they free Caesar in the morning. Colonel, he finds the doll. He keeps sitting. He's like, oh, okay, I'm just go ahead and hold on to this. Where did this come from? Everybody like, we don't know. Like, oh, okay. And then that's when they go ahead and plan their escape?
Yeah, they're planning their escape. They're like, oh, it's 37 steps to here, blah, 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 blah.
I think it was 52 to...
the children's?
Yeah, 54 to the children, 37 to the rest of the apes. So they grabbed the apes first. Then that's when Caesar was like, no, grab the children. They grabbed the children. They grabbed the rest of the apes. That's when they start fighting. They grab some of the soldiers, which I love. Like how, like, the Rocket is hero of the movie.
Rocket is the unsung hero.
Slinging poop.
Not just once or twice, like 3 times, just like to produce that amount of poop. That's heroic.
Oh my god. And then like when he was like, who did it? And he looked over to Rocket. Rocket had another one just waiting for him. Oh. But then the apes finally escape, and they didn't even notice until like the last minute when the base got attacked.
Oh yeah, like in the morning when they're like, all the apes gone. This one guy, he's just...
No, like, that's the crazy thing. They didn't notice until, like, I guess the other army that was coming for them originally, which we kind of missed that part, skipped that part where the colonel actually explained that the rest of the world of the humans that are left, they find the colonel, like, psychotic. Like, they're like, his way of thinking is just stupid. He needs to come back and return back to the, home base and just stop what you're doing. And he's like, no, if you want to come get me, send your armies to come get me. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're a lunatic, for God's sakes. So I guess they finally send, like, their army, and as they breaking out to war, a couple of soldiers find out, oh, the apes are gone. Like, that's it, they're gone.
Oh, yeah. Because if anything was going to happen to the apes, they're all going to die during that war.
Yeah.
Because human, no matter what side you're on, you all hate the apes.
Yeah.
Like, because they're responsible for this apocalypse, or this ape apocalypse.
They're not responsible for the apocalypse. They just realized that in this current situation of this virus that no one can, like, honestly, I don't even think they know the source of the virus anymore.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they realize, ape. Like,
well, no,
that's all they know, though.
Well, you can blame it on the ape, but it's really not the ape's fault. Like, James Franco was literally trying to come up, like, to a cure for Alzheimer's, and pretty much it came out to, like, making apes intelligent, and them trying to amplify the effect of it, and, of course, in the airport, when you drop it, perfect place to, that's, like, the fault. The virus is not really the ape's fault. It's man's fault for playing around with things they're not supposed to.
Yeah, James Franco, it's all your fault.
And, well, no, it was actually his superior.
Yeah, it was, I forget the guy.
Yeah, some black dude. Just one time that we can actually blame it on a black dude for screwing up.
Oh, well.
And it actually is his fault.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I think ever since, like, the 60s, this has kind of been, like, a thing in the background of, a theme of the movies, Planet of the Apes. It's always kind of been about race.
Yeah.
Especially in the 4th one. Because in the 4th one, it's like a black guy in charge. And the apes are kind of, like, giving a big speech. And, well, no, it was a white guy in charge, but there's also a black guy there. And Caesar's giving this big speech. And it's like, what would you do if they were doing this to your people? And he's talking straight to the black guy. And it's like, oh, man.
Oh, no, black guy, like, hey, you guys had your opportunity. You screwed up. Look at where we're at now. But no, like, honestly, I mean, what they done to the apes was just cruel and inhumane. But Colonel got exactly what he deserved, because that little doll that he grabbed from Nova had some of her blood on it, and he got infected, and he pretty much, de-evolved.
Yep. Well, again, I think it's just the thing of you lose your speech.
Yeah.
Because he understood things, and he understood that a gun would kill him.
Yeah, and he took that same gun and blew his own brains out, because he'd rather have died than actually live and try to continue on life without being able to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they pretty much, and it was hilarious because, like, I was wondering what was happening to the Colonel, because when they were like, Colonel, the war started, I'm like, where is he at right now?
For me, the wheels were turning, and I was like, beautiful, poetic justice.
Oh, no, he got exactly what he deserved.
Yeah.
Especially the one guy that sees, out of the 4 men that Caesar saved, one of them was actually, like, a sharpshooter, and he kept, like, Caesar pretty much saved your life. In any situation that you would try to have his back, it would be now while this war is going on.
But no.
And Caesar, every moment, just never seen him, like, as a villain. But that's when Donkey comes in to save the day.
Oh, yeah. So Caesar gets shot with an arrow.
Yes.
Crossbow arrow. Right in the side. Kind of like Jesus. Another ape Jesus thing.
Yeah.
And the guy has him cornered.
Yeah, the sharpshooter.
Yeah, but Donkey is like, you know what? Grenade launcher.
Who decided to, like, redeem himself? Because, I mean, I think he just got fed up with being called Donkey. He's realized, like, you know what? This is a time for apes to rise. I'm sick and tired of this. He grabs the rocket launcher that the guy next to him was asking him to get, and he turns around to the sharpshooter who's about to go to shoot Caesar and blow his ass up. Like, at that moment, it went from, like, a serious movie to a Rambo movie.
That explosion was a little bit over the top.
But it was perfect.
It was.
That was my clap in the theater moment, and I don't clap in the theaters.
Yeah. There's like 3 good explosions, one on top of the other in that movie.
And then Donkey got shot in the head.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But don't worry, all the bad humans died.
Yeah, because Caesar pretty much took a whole bunch of grenades and just blew up like the gas tanks, and he was able to actually escape. And then that's when the army that was coming, I guess, from the south, were like, "Yay, we finally defeated them!" And then Caesar rides up to a rock. They all look at him, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna have to kill this ape."
I love that reaction though. They're all like cheering because they won.
Yeah, and then,
miraculously somehow
everybody got quiet. And you know, it's funny because in those moments, it's always that one random guy that's like, "Yeah, what is everybody? Oh shit, it's an ape."
Yeah, and there's like still some people who like are still celebrating, don't even notice that Caesar's there, and then the avalanche just comes down.
No. Like, as they're sitting there, one guy raises his gun and like, I'm gonna kill this freaking ape. And then you just look over and you're just like, is that an avalanche? Which is the greatest plot twist and plot development for any movie, as in, this avalanche alone is going to solve all their problems.
It's another plot convenience that's like, oh, hey, we don't have to fight these guys.
No, that's what avalanches are for.
Avalanches are like the great equalizer.
Yeah. And then finally, all the apes were saved because they can climb trees very well.
Yeah, I'm sure all those humans...
No, I don't believe one human survived. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, all those humans are probably dead.
They're gone. I'm sorry. Like, if any of them did survive, they're buried deep and they're going to die a slow, painful death.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of building up to the whole humans can't speak anymore thing from the originals.
Yeah. So, at the end, the apes, they finally find paradise.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They find their home.
Yeah, they find their new home.
In the desert.
Next to a large, lake. I know you've seen that lake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this ain't a desert. That's a lake right there.
There's lakes in the desert.
How can that sustain life?
There's an oasis.
Yeah. You want to say it or I'm going to say it?
You could say it.
No, you say it.
Okay. Unfortunately, after the long trek to this new sanctuary, Caesar passes away in the arms of Maurice.
In the arms of a donkey. Wait, no, Maurice is not a donkey. Sorry about that. But no,
yes.
Oh my God.
After 3 epic movies, you could kind of say this is the end of a saga. Even if they continue on, this is the end of that chapter.
Maurice and Caesar was in their own cars and they were separating.
Yeah.
And they just took their own roads to their new destinations.
Yeah. Caesar being the Paul Walker in this situation.
Yes. But you know what? I was sad for his death, but it wasn't on level with Paul Walker and Yondu.
Yeah. Yondu, much sadder for me.
Yeah.
And then what's another sad death that's happened lately?
I think that was it. Within the past couple of years.
Logan.
Yeah.
I think Logan's was a lot sadder. I mean, he had 17 years with him.
Yeah.
Only 6 with...
I knew it was leading up to that moment. Even with Caesar, I knew it had to lead up to that moment. It was just the end. Yondu, I didn't see that coming. Even at the end, I'm like, this is a Disney movie. Of course, they're going to find some way, and he's going to be like, oh, I can breathe. No, I didn't. Yondu. And then, to see his, redemption at the end, how, no one cared about him. And then his own crew didn't care about him. Then they gave him a proper funeral. And, with Caesar, I knew, you could tell he was loved. People seen him as a leader.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, he was perfect. I mean, not perfect, but it's like they say.
He was a good leader.
Yeah. Either live long enough to, become a villain or die a hero. Yeah. That's exactly not how that quote goes, but you get my drift.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become Koba.
Wow, that took a dark turn. Man.
Hey, it was heading down that path.
Oh yeah, he was. I mean, that path for revenge. Vengeance is one thing, but revenge, oh, it's dirty.
Taking the life of another ape, that's deep.
That's when it hit like that's when I felt like, that was it for him. Like there was no turning back.
Yeah, this had to be his final movie, because his mission was almost done.
But I love how they dropped, like when Maurice was like, your father would, Cornelius would know what kind of ape your father was, and I was like, I see where this is going.
Yep. If Andy Serkis comes back and he plays Cornelius, I'd be fine with that.
Andy Serkis, he's like a god with CGI. He's a demigod with CGI. So I'm looking forward to it. Like, overall, this trilogy, I hope they leave it here, but some telling me, as we were discussing last night, that they could possibly, like your theory is, just throw in 2 more movies. But I want them to just leave it right here, let the apes be done. But knowing Hollywood and the amount of money that they made off this movie, they're not going to stop.
Also, it's Fox. I know Matt Reeves is moving on to do Batman, which we could talk about that a little bit right now if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Oh, well, yeah. Well, real quick, Fox, they're going to lose Matt Reeves because of this. I hope that they find at least someone as good as Matt Reeves to continue going on, because it's Fox. They love movies. They love making money off of movies. I
mean, only movie franchise of theirs is actually successful.
Yeah, this one and probably... Oh, geez, they lost Star Wars.
Yeah.
X-Men's kind of going all right.
No, X-Men's not kind of going all right.
Oh, okay. Deadpool is kind of going all right.
Yes. X-Men was on the right track until Apocalypse. Then it just sled bomb straight into hell.
Yeah. I mean, we can always have a good New Mutants movie and Dark Phoenix movie.
Yeah, we'll see how well that goes.
Yeah. But I'm hoping the next movie could be like our official Planet of the Apes. The astronauts come back and they see the future that is now the apes. And then the one after that one could be like the finale, the big fall of the Planet of the Apes, where the apes have now become as arrogant as man, and now they are doomed to fail.
Yes.
Like the humans.
And humans actually get speech back.
Yes. I mean, no, they don't have to.
No.
And you could always do that thing where, like, the virus diverged into 2. Mm-hmm. One side, they cannot speak. The other side, telepathic mutants that worship a nuclear bomb.
Oh, yeah. Now we're going too far.
Yeah. Well, they could worship science in a way.
Yeah.
That would totally be fine.
Scientology.
No, I don't think Tom Cruise survived the apocalypse. Something tells me.
You never know.
Yeah. But anyway, do you want to go into Matt Reeves and the whole Batman situation?
So, I guess, like, what is going on? Like, he was doing Batman? Oh, no, he's still the director for Batman, right?
Yeah, he's still directing. And then Jeff Johns, Ben Affleck, still producing.
Okay, they wrote a script. He didn't like it, tossed it out, start from scratch.
Yeah, we're starting with scratch.
Yet again.
With another DC movie.
Okay. Like, what is... Why can't Warner Brothers get it right? And it's not even a point, like, of course you hear about these things where it's like, oh, you know, sometimes directors change, sometimes scripts are changed, but it seemed like Warner Brothers, they're just got their foot in the mud. Like, they have no idea what they're doing. Like, they're in quicksand right now. Because it's like, your next movie is Justice League, and you don't even have anything lined up for after that.
Yeah, well, they only have Aquaman, but that's October of next year.
Yeah, which, did they start filming?
I know there's some test footage already. There's like some Aquaman swimming around.
Yeah, which was probably like extra footage from Justice League.
Bro,
like,
it's not too hard.
Like, I'm just gonna come out. It's like, it's one of those things where before they even did this, and if they knew that they was going to try to do an entire franchise of like DC comic movies, they should just went ahead and just was like, okay, we need to have these movies lined up. We need to have these directors. We need to have these scripts. Like, Flash don't even have a script. They're now talking about Wonder Woman 2, and it's just like, oh, of course you can, because that's going to take away from, like, everything else that's being done in the dark and can't get done right.
Yeah. Wonder Woman, your first big success. Just push that sequel out as fast as you can.
Like, your 4th movie and, like, what, the 3 movies that's in this series that's finally successful?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only reason we even gave credit to Suicide Squad, because you screwed up so bad with the first 2.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully Suicide Squad 2 is better. Which, by the way, have you seen all the fake trailers?
I've seen a few.
Everyone believes these fake trailers are the real thing, and I'm just like, no.
You know what gets me? When people see posters to like movies and they think it's legit, and I'm just like, no. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is 2017. You shouldn't believe anything you see on the internet.
Yeah.
Even if it is credited by like Wikipedia.
Well, I don't know. They're getting close to finding a director for Suicide Squad 2.
Give it to Joss Whedon. At least he probably knows what he
Nah, he needs to stay on Batgirl. Like, I have a lot of faith in Batgirl being a really kick-ass movie.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
Well, he's doing the reshoots for Justice League.
Okay.
That's 6 months worth of reshoots.
But Warner Brothers, they're... I don't know what to even say right now.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Let's just see how this goes. But let's... One last thing. That script that was tossed out was written by both Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And Matt Reeves, out of all people, didn't agree with it. I want to see the script. Like, I hope somehow it leaks out online.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those things where we'll never see the original script for this one. We'll never see all those scenes missing from Rogue One.
Give it 10 years.
Maybe.
I mean, by that time, we wouldn't even care. But give it 10 years.
It's going to be like Justice League Mortal. Who was going to do that movie? The director of Mad Max. He was going to do a Justice League movie back in 23. Well,
Justice League what?
Justice League Mortal. It was a 2003 Justice League movie.
What was it about?
I couldn't tell you. Like,
okay, I thought there was like
there's only concept art for Wonder Woman.
Oh,
that's the only thing that actually has physically come out.
Oh, and wait a minute. So why Mortal?
That's just the subtitle.
Oh, codename Justice League Mortal. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, Warner Brothers, they actually get back on their feet and they actually can get their crap together. You do have fans out there who want to see these movies. If you don't do it for anybody, no. Just get it done. I would say do it for the fans, but we see how those projects turn out.
Yeah. Oh, well. What do you think of Planet of the Apes?
Oh, no, it was a wonderful movie. They put their foot in it.
Same here. Can't wait to see what happens next.
I hope nothing else happens next. It's a good trilogy. Don't ruin it.
You know they will.
Of course. Thank you, Fox.
They'll have an ape extended universe.
Thanks, Obama.
This is all your fault.
Oh, God. But I guess that's it.
That's it for this podcast. Let's close out by saying, hey guys, I know if you made it this far into the podcast, you might have some interest in it, so why not leave a like and comment down below? You can also subscribe to our channel for more great news, podcasts, reviews, and whatever else we do on this channel. And you can also share this podcast with all your friends.
Tell all your friends. Tell everyone.
Tell your enemies. Let them suffer. If you hate this podcast, send it to your enemies, and they'll be like, oh, why'd you send me this podcast?
Send it to Kubo.
Send it to Koba.
Kubo.
And Kubo with the 2 strings.
Yes. Even if it's Kubo with a 3 string, send to him too.
You know what? He does get 3 strings by the end of the movie. So
spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Yeah, but I hope you guys had a great time listening to this podcast. We'll see you next week. I'm Marco.
Charles.
Adios.